The other fear, oh, I need to have a grant writing degree or English degree. English degrees are a thing, but you don't need an English writing background to be a grant writer. I've known people from all walks that have become grant writers. Some have not even had a degree, and others, their degrees have been journalism, biology, business, education, like all over the map. It's not just people who major in English that become grant writers at all. It's always, I fell into grant writing. Are you new to grant writing and you're just overwhelmed because you've heard so many things like grant writing's hard and it's super technical? I have to have the best grammar to be a good grant writer. I don't even have a grant writing or English degree. Or maybe, don't I need a grant writing certification and won't that take me a long time? If you've ever thought any of these thoughts after you've become excited about learning how to write grants, but then got put off real quickly because of these thoughts, you're at the right place, because I'm gonna debunk all of these. Hi, my name is Holly Rustick, and I'm CEO of Grant Writing and Funding and the Freelance Grant Writer Academy and the Grant Professional Mentorship, where we help aspiring and seasoned grant writers replace their full-time income on flexible hours writing grants from home or anywhere in the world. So good. Let's first debunk the thought, oh, grant writing is super technical and super hard, so I shouldn't even try. All right, a lot of you just throw in the towel before you even try because you have this thought. So let me go ahead and debunk this thought. The reality is that grant writing is a formulaic process. And when you have a formula, it becomes so much easier. Yes, it is technical, right? But at the same time, if you have a formulaic process, then you can actually figure out how to do it. And actually, part of the charm is that everyone else that's not listening to this YouTube video or the podcast is also thinking this. So when you learn how to write grants, they're like, oh my gosh, you are amazing. Kind of like how I feel about my bookkeeper, right? And people who learn how to do bookkeeping are like, oh yeah, this is like a process. I got this, no problem, right? But to all the rest of us, we're like, oh my gosh, my hero. That's how you're gonna be seen. So let's talk about this formulaic process. Inside the Freelance Grant Writer Academy, we actually teach you our 30-day master grant template application, which goes over every single process in 30 days. So you learn the entire thing and you can submit a master grant for review. Even if you're not working at a nonprofit, you can actually come up with a mock example and do it, and we show you how to do it. So good. But one of the things you want to look at is grants are always going to be asking you basically two questions. These two questions you're going to have to answer, and this is just it, okay? So if you keep this in your mind, it's going to make it so much easier. The one thing they're always going to be asking you is, can your nonprofit or organization implement projects efficiently? That's it, right? And a lot of what we do in the technical writing of grants and the formulaic process is to show the implementation of projects. That's it. It's like a business plan. Just think of it like a business plan. We're going to show you how to do the research to show the need, and we're going to come up with a problem statement. Then we're going to have a goal. Then we're going to have an objective, or maybe up to 3, right? Objectives that are very smart, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And we're going to show you how to show that with these specific formulas, these little puzzle pieces, the problem statement, the goal, the objectives, the budget, right? And this basically says we know how to implement projects because we're looking at all of these elements and we can talk about each of these elements and show them to you. The next thing grant funders are asking and looking for are, can your nonprofit or organization actually manage money well? Can you implement projects efficiently? Can you manage money well? Those are the two big concepts and questions that funding sources have that you have to validate or to show. And writing a grant shows both of those if you know the formulaic process. So do you know how to manage money well? And if you say, but Holly, our nonprofit has never gotten a grant before, so we're always stuck between a rock and a hard place because we can't really show that. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. It doesn't mean it has to be grant funding specifically. Maybe it's fundraising money that has come in. How have you managed that, right? Maybe it's individual donor money that has come in. How have you managed that? And that could be as simple as saying our treasurer at the board oversees these monies. They distribute these in these ways, right? We use QuickBooks for nonprofits or whatever you use. So you're just showing like this is how we manage money. It's not difficult and it shouldn't be. If you're using crazy big words and all of the things and it's so complex, it's going to be hard for reviewers to even know what you're talking about. You want to keep it simple. So in our formulaic process that we show you, very simple, very simple. All right, number 2, the myth is, I need to have the best grammar in the world, and I just don't, so I'm not gonna be good at grant writing. You don't need the best grammar in the world. Once again, remember, what are funding sources looking at? Can you implement projects efficiently? Can you manage money well? It's not, do you know where to put commas and semicolons? All right, so yes, I encourage you, use a spelling and grammar check before submitting a grant. That's before submitting anything to anyone to review. You can use ChatGPT to even help you with the spelling and the grammar. Not to write the grant before you've actually wrote it. That's a whole nother episode, but we wanna make sure that, yeah, I mean, you can use things like spell check, grammar check, just to make sure, even like Grammarly, right? Just to help you with your spelling and grammar so it's not atrocious and they can actually read your sentences. But it's not, I have to be a good writer to be a good grant writer. No, that's not the case at all. A lot of people I know that have gone to grant writing are from all walks of life, not just from a writing background. And it's really about, we use a lot of bullet points, we use a lot of charts, we use a lot of that. Yes, we need to write complete sentences, but I don't even know where to put all the commas in the right place. It's like, it's okay. And I've won a lot of money. And I've taught a lot of people to win a lot of money. It's more about how you score and how you understand, once again, the formulaic process. Okay, so don't let, I'm not a good writer, keep you away from writing grants. It doesn't matter. Like, you can just know the basics and you are good. Now, the other thing, the other fear, oh, I need to have a grant writing degree or English degree. But you don't need an English background or English writing background to be a grant writer. I've known people from all walks, once again, that have become grant writers. Some have not even had a degree, right? And others, their degrees have been like journalism, biology, like business. It's not just people who major in English that become grant writers at all. It's always, I fell into grant writing. If you listen to my podcast, you're gonna hear that all the time when I have guests on the show, is I fell into grant writing. It's not from a traditional like route, like somebody doesn't just like wake up and, you know, when they're 13 years old and be like, one day I'm gonna be a grant writer. Like, if you do, that's awesome, but most people do not. That's not like a traditional route that people take. Your nonprofit clients, when you become a grant professional and actually offer your grant writing services, they're not asking you what your degree was in. Believe me, they're not. What they're asking is, how many grants have you written? How many grants have you gotten awarded? They're asking you those types of questions, all right? So it is okay. And the most important thing that you need is grant writing skills and training, not a certain type of degree, but skills and training. And in the Freelance Grant Writer Academy, we actually have our full grant writing master course and our 30-day master grant application to give you the skills. And then we have a full year of unlimited grant reviews to give you the confidence because you're actually getting things you write reviewed. That is way more in gold than a degree in English. That has nothing to do with grant writing at all. All right, and the fourth thing, oh, don't I need a grant writing certification? Here's the thing, you don't. I'm just gonna say that right away. You don't actually need a grant writer certification, and there isn't one that is required to be a grant writer. So you might think like real estate, people need a license, a real estate license. Some people need certain types of license or certifications to even operate. And that's not the case with grant writers at all. They don't actually need something to operate their business. They just need to know how to write grants, right? Like to get the skills to do it. But some of you do like to have a certification, and there are certifications out there that will help just with your confidence, because basically, once again, a certification training is more about teaching you how to write grants or reviewing your knowledge of how to write grants. So that might be something that you just feel more comfortable having. And because of that, inside the Freelance Grant Writer Academy, we've actually partnered with the Grant Professional Certification Institute, where we offer 31 education credit hours towards that. And we have our own certification. And we do that just because some of you do want that. But here's the thing, is it required? No. Do your nonprofit clients, even if they said, do you have a grant writing certification? And you said yes, and you told them what it was, they won't even know what that meant. They don't know what that is. It's not really the right question for the answer they're looking for. When they ask you, do you have a grant writing certification? What they're really asking is, do you have the skills, right? So if you go back to that learning the formulaic process and all of that, then you could say yes. But some of you just like to easily overcome the yes by getting a certification. It is not required though, but we do understand that, so we offer that within the Freelance Grant Writer Academy, and then we also partner up as well. But remember, it's not needed. Overall, learning the skills of how to write a grant can open so many doors for you. We are so passionate about it because we've seen it happen. I've had it happen in my own life, and I've seen it happen to hundreds of other people that I've trained. And what happens is they're able to work from home or anywhere in the world. They're able to get promoted even if they stay within a job because they get these grant writing skills. Or even if they want to apply to another job, they're able to get a higher rate and they're able to get a better position. And when they open a grant writing business on the side, they can have extra income, and if they can even go full-time on part-time hours and replace their entire full-time income and make more money working on less hours. This happens all the time. People are also able to quit potentially toxic nonprofit jobs or toxic 9-to-5s and be able to work at home. They're able to work less hours and take care of loved ones like little kids or like the pets that you see occasionally in these videos, and so much more. It is absolutely amazing being able to have this skill in your pocket can do for you for the rest of your life. This is not a hard skill to learn. You don't need the best grammar, you don't need a degree, and you don't need a certification. What you do need is just to have the belief that you can learn it and to be in a program or to have the tools to learn this skill. Then you can help so many cause areas that you believe in, and you can increase your income as well. So I hope I eased your mind with all of the fears that you might have about writing grants. Is something everyone can absolutely do. No matter your background, no matter where you live today, no matter your current resources, as long as you can tap into learning the skills and have programs that offer that, or even learning it in books, courses, etc., it is so good for you to do. And of course, we have so many resources inside the Freelance Grant Writer Academy. You'll definitely want to check it out. All right, to your success in writing grants.